I'm Thomas, and today I would like to show you why this lens, the Voigtländer Nokton Classic 35 1.4, is my favorite lens. So let's have a look. Okay, so this is called a Nokton Classic, and it is a classic by design. It doesn't have any modern glass elements. It's no sphericals, no molded glass, no special glass swords, anything like that. Mr. Kobayashi from Cosina, he's apparently a fan of old lens designs. So when he got the name rights for Voigtländer, he brought out many lenses like this. First for Leica M, and then later also for Sony FE or even MFT. So Cosina is often influenced by famous lenses. So this, for example, this is influenced by the Leica Summilux 35 1.4 that came out in 1960, designed by famous Walter Mandler. It was the first f1.4 35 ever made. It became a legend, like for several decades the photojournalists would love that lens because of its speed and also because of its quality. So what's nice is, once you start turning the focus ring, it automatically zooms in, so you can really select what you're focusing on, and it's very precise. Once you half press the shutter button, zooms out again. If you focus, zooms in. You can also move the focus point. If you had a newer Sony body, there would be a joystick to do this. Also, when you adjust aperture, it automatically zooms out. So what you do is basically you look around, you frame your shot, then you focus, then you take the shot. So the original Leica Summilux, it was a 7-lens design, very simple for a 1.4. This Cosina Voigtländer lens has 8 lens elements, so it's a little bit better. But it still gives it a very classic look. So there's not a lot of corner sharpness at f1.4. It has a certain glow, especially in the highlights, and also the bokeh is very, so-called unique or characteristic. It's not a very smooth bokeh. It has these cat's eyes and harsh rings, the harsh outlines. Personally, I love that stuff because it adds a lot of character to a photo. But again, these lenses are not about modern optical perfection. So as you can see, this is a fully manual lens. Has a very nice smooth aperturing. Focuses down to 0.3 meters. Very nice clicky aperturing. Third stops clicks. Very good feeling, very tactile. Moby Dick, it's Moby Dick. Classic lens means you lose some performance at open aperture, but once you stop down, you see how the image clears up very quickly. So at 1.4 it's a bit soft, a little bit dreamy, corner sharpness not so good. At f2 already all the dreaminess is gone, and at f2.8 it's pretty sharp over almost a big part of the frame. 5.6 or 8, you basically have a perfect image. It's always sharp, also to the borders, to the sides. It's very clear, very crispy, very contrasty. So that's a character trait of classic lenses, you know, that the character changes so much just when you go through the apertures. Let's do some bokeh shots, huh? Okay. What I did is I took a series of shots between 1.4 and 4. The bokeh changes a lot if you stop down. At 1.4 you get these outlines, and at 2 it's already a bit smoother, and at 2.8 it's a pretty neutral bokeh. But of course it's just f2.8 then. But it also doesn't look at all like, you know, iPhone bokeh or something like that. They always try to make a very smooth bokeh. Everyone dreams of smooth bokeh. But the reality is that optical lenses don't deliver smooth bokeh, they just deliver some bokeh with a lot of character in it. And this is actually one of the points why I love this lens so much. Okay, a very good characteristic of Voigtländer lenses always are the sun stars. So when you stop down to like 8 or 11, you get really nice sun stars. This is because of the aperture design. I think this has like 10 aperture blades, so it gives you a distinct 10 spikes in the sun stars. It always looks very good.
Someone else may be nearer your heart.
A nice feature about the Voigtländer lenses is that while they are manual lenses, they still have the electric contacts. So these things. So it communicates with the Sony camera, and what it means is first you put on the lens and the camera body knows the correct focal length. So the IBIS works. You don't have to adjust the focal length manually, and that's very handy if you change lenses. And the second thing is, of course, the aperture is transferred to the camera, and also this is the reason why when you focus it will zoom in automatically. So it's a lot of comfort features, and as far as manual focus lenses go, only Voigtländer and the Zeiss lenses for Sony have these features. So they're both produced by Cosina. So you can also always use an adapted Leica M lens, of course, but then you lose this convenience. Okay, now we're at Rheinhafen, Cologne. It's a very architecture place. And so it's maybe a good idea to test for distortion, right? So. Let's check for chromatic aberrations, huh?
Will you try to give one little thought to me? Though someone else may be nearer your heart. Once in a while, will you dream of the moments I shared with you? Moments before we two drifted apart.
Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this little insight into this lens. If you're interested, I also have a review about it with several sample shots on my blog, tomscameras.wordpress.com, but see the link in the description below.
I know that I'll be contented with yesterday's memory, knowing you think of me once in a while.